Ask any history enthusiast to name a film that accurately captures the harsh reality of submarine warfare in World War II, and most will point to 1981's Das Boot. This acclaimed German movie follows a U-boat crew locked in combat with Allied forces during the Battle of the Atlantic, a brutal campaign that saw some of the deadliest fighting of the war. Since its debut, Das Boot has become a cult classic, and we figured it was time to share some of our favorite bits of trivia about the film. How many of these did you already know? The movie is adapted from a novel of the same title by Lothar Gunther Buchheim, who wrote the book based on his time aboard U-96 during World War II. Buchheim served as a war correspondent for the Kriegsmarine's propaganda branch, where he was assigned to document life aboard a U-boat. His reporting earned him the Knight's Cross with oak leaves. The film ends on a grim note, with most of the crew killed or wounded in an Allied bombing shortly after they arrive home. In truth, U-96 was sunk by Allied forces, but only after being decommissioned and while docked in Wilhelmshaven. This might not shock anyone familiar with Das Boot, but we're including it anyway. At the time of its release, the movie was the most expensive production ever made in Germany, with a staggering budget of 32 million Deutsche Marks. That investment paid off quickly, as the film was given the widest release ever seen in West Germany. Now, you might be asking yourself, why did Das Boot cost so much to make? A large portion of the budget went toward constructing two full-scale replicas of a Type V7C U-boat, one built for interior shots and the other for outdoor scenes. Using blueprints from Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry, the replicas were assembled by the same company that originally built the submarines, ensuring a high level of detail and authenticity. What are the chances one of those U-boats would end up in a totally different movie? As it turns out, Steven Spielberg rented the outdoor model for Raiders of the Lost Ark 1981, the debut film in the Indiana Jones series. The best part? The Das Boot crew wasn't told, so they showed up one day and discovered the sub was gone. Just imagine the chaos that caused. It's not exactly rare for an American film to rack up several Oscar nominations during award season, but that's usually not the case for international releases. That's what made Das Boot's 6 nominations at the 55th Academy Awards such a noteworthy achievement. Although the film didn't take home any wins, just being considered was a major accomplishment. If you watch Das Boot closely, you'll probably notice how pale the actors look. Most films would achieve this effect using makeup, but not this one. To make their appearance more realistic, the cast was kept indoors as much as possible to avoid sunlight, mimicking life aboard a submarine. Likewise, makeup and fake facial hair weren't used. To make sure their beards looked authentic, the movie was filmed in sequence so viewers were actually watching the actors' real hair and facial growth progress over time. We wouldn't change a single casting choice in Das Boot. Still, learning that Robert Redford was once considered makes us curious about who else might have ended up in the film. Before production officially began, the project was pitched to several American filmmakers, and Redford was briefly in the running to play Lieutenant Werner. No disrespect to the Hollywood star, but we're glad the role went to Herbert Grönemeyer. He truly brought the character to life. Now you might be wondering how Lothar Gunther Buchheim felt about the adaptation of his novel. As it turns out, he wasn't exactly pleased. Buchheim criticized director Wolfgang Petersen's version, claiming the film had transformed his anti-war narrative into what he described as a cheap, shallow American action flick, and even compared it to a contemporary German propaganda newsreel from World War II.